We've spoken a lot about data mapping. Let's look at the challenges that organizations face with respect to data mapping and see how can we overcome them. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you daily see new content on data privacy. And as I said, let's talk about the challenges related to data mapping and some ways to overcome those challenges. What is data mapping? Simple that you want to use in your organization, manual or automatic. We have spoken about that. We have compared both. We have seen a hybrid model as well that can help you identify what data you have and with respect to privacy, what personal data you have. How does it flow in your organization, right from the point of collection to the point of destruction, right? So like DPDP says, the process of collecting, storing, processing, deleting, or sharing with third parties. All the 5 processes, if you do any one of them with personal data, then it means you should be compliant with the privacy laws of India, which is DPDP Act 2023. What are the challenges that we have seen commonly? Outdated data inventories. Any organization you'll speak to, they'll say, we know what data we have. When you get into details, and I've been giving examples, I did a file assessment, 200 terabyte of file server, another storage to be bought. We realized actual data was only 20 terabyte. The remaining data was so old. No one had ever accessed. Anything that everyone knew was that the storage is full. And it did have personal data. Now, even this story is 5-6 years old, so privacy was not a hot topic at that point in time. But if it is related to your old consultants, employees, anyone, then there would be their payment details, there would be their financial information. So it's even sensitive personal information. Similarly, I know another customer of mine who has retained an old IBM server because he has an old healthcare record on that. And anyone who wants to check that data just powers it on and starts looking into the data. They're not able to migrate into the new systems that they're using. So legacy systems are disturbing, and access in both these cases is with everyone because everyone thinks that it is not critical, right? And it all has personal healthcare and financial data. So you should automate your data discovery, keep a regular update on your data maps, and keep a centralized catalog of what information you have in your organization. There's a difficulty in identifying sensitive data. Well, in these two examples, when I don't even know what is my data, then obviously how would I identify whether it is sensitive or not, right? So it's becoming difficult in such cases to differentiate sensitive and non-sensitive data. In fact, it is the first step whether it is a personal data or just data, right? Only official. How can an official data be without a human reference? But yes, still there could still be some databases and tables that talk only of non-living things, right? Like the products and all. So it's difficult to mark out sensitive data from here, and the solution is to use classification tools. Cut or clear or create clear classification policies. Perform regular checks and audits on your system to be sure that whatever is in. It could be, you can say it's one-time mammoth task of taking a complete inventory, but if you have decided and created a process of updating your maps regularly, then it's a one-time task only, because any new thing that happens with privacy in design in mind, privacy by design in mind, right? Complex data flows. I have a playlist on privacy by design model, so you can go through that as well. Data flows are complex. I've given you an example of an old IBM server with a database. I know another healthcare organization where they have pretty old. I'm serving them for 15 years, and they told me that that database that they are using is already 20 years old. So practically today it's a 35-year-old database. Still has data, they know how to access it, but that's what makes it difficult, right? So a timely migration could have helped them get rid of an old database, but well, they have to live with it. Being healthcare and with no one being able to decide retention policy, it's multiplying their problems. So adapt a proper flow diagram, create a data lineage. When was it created? What is it? For how long was it created? A lot of effort required, but you need to do it. Address any cross-border regulations if you think you need to transfer this data beyond your boundaries. Inconsistent data handling across departments. This happens especially in sales and marketing organizations, right? The marketing data gets converted into sales information. Accounts has a different way to look at it. Finance has a different way to look at it. The technical team has a different way to look at it. Some needs address, some needs banking information. everyone want to work their own way. Organizations need to build a consistent practice. Again, privacy by design model, but data mapping first. Standardize the way the data is being handled and respected by your teams. Appoint data stewards. Each department should have, depending on size of your organization, should be reporting into someone, or someone should have the authority to validate, recheck, cross-check if there's anything going wrong with personal data or the way the personal data is being handled in an organization. And you should conduct regular trainings. Third-party risks. There's a lot of third-party sharing that happens. Vendors should follow data protocols. You should do vendor risk assessments. You should have data processing agreements with them, and you should monitor vendor compliance, right? Everything needs to be checked. Agreements need to be redone. And because that third-party data belongs to you, or they are processing on your behalf, they should be a part of your data maps. You should integrate your teams well. They cannot work in silos, especially privacy and compliance being slightly new ones. So people would resist. Why should I tell them what I'm doing? Are they checking me? Are they my new bosses? You need to find out a way how you avoid the lack of integration between teams, how you make sure that they are able to collaborate with each other. Who are your privacy champions, and how can you have a unified platform on which all of them work? There's a difficulty in tracking DSRs, data subject rights. The purpose of privacy is to strengthen or empower the person whose personal data you are dealing with. So you need to be careful with that, right? You need to fulfill all their rights. Access, rectification, erasure, portability. Now, if you don't even know that there's a 20-year-old data lying there, I'm not saying a 20-year-old customer might come in and ask for the data, but well, maybe someone comes in and asks you for data. You had that data, but you said, I don't have that data. He may or may not challenge you, but if you provide him a 20-year-old data, the kind of respect you'll get for your brand is far more superior than you would by convincing him that it's 20-year-old data and I don't have it without even checking it. So do the mapping now. Use them, integrate them with your privacy tools, automate the request handling, and maintain detailed records. These are some of the very, very important challenges and very, very important points with respect to regulations around compliance. So you need to be very, very careful around these challenges. You can't leave them just like that, right? The regulators will ask you about what you are doing. Data subjects can go in every organization, in every country. There is a complete grievance redressal system, and they can go to the highest level of judicial authorities in the country. So data mapping needs to be very, very compliant. Do regular regulatory reviews, adapt data mapping frameworks, and perform online training and awareness for your staff members so that they can really handle it the way they are supposed to handle it. So that's about challenges with respect to data mapping. I hope you like the content of the video. Please press the bell and the like icon, subscribe to my channel, and share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.